Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. An Ukraine front update, macro. The Russians used ballistic missiles to strike the city of Sumy in Sumy Oblast. There are some casualties, and I'm focused not necessarily on the event. I'm focused on people trying to use the tragic attack, if it was done by the Russians. And I have Zelensky and the foreign minister of Ukraine calling for the world and the partners, the allies, to react strongly. Like what? Like attacking Russia? Yeah, I think that's what they want. We're going to discuss this in about 7 articles here. Then we're going to find out the European Union, not the European Union, Europe expressed condolences for the attack on Sumy. Well, the people in charge, some people in charge of Europe express condolences, not the people of Europe. All right, this is a tragic event. Who did it? These guys say the Russians. The Russians are tight-lipped, but the Russians tell us that actually the Ukrainians are still attacking Russian infrastructure, therefore violating the ceasefire on energy infrastructure. And I got more articles here. We're going to find out that Ukraine will not have elections. But hey, democracy flourishes in Ukraine. It's a democratic country, unlike Russia, that held elections. All right, let's start with the first topic and the first article. This comes from Ukrainska Pravda. It is from Sunday, April 13th, 2025. Russian missile hit Sumy city center on Palm Sunday. 32 killed, including children. Photos. So, it's as tragic as it is. I'm assuming this has something to do with the palm, something to do with religion, with a palm that whatever. So, Russian missile, singular, doesn't really matter because we're going to go to the next one. New Voice of Ukraine. Russia strikes Sumy with ballistic missiles. Plural. 32 dead, including 2 children, over 80 injured. Live updates. Horrible. Now, I know it is ugly to say it, but with the risk of being uglier than I am, I will ask the question. Are you certain it was the Russians? I know that when you investigate a crime, and not only you come up with alternative hypotheses. As crazy as they could be, you write them down on paper and you try to eliminate them or try to confirm them by looking into it. You're not going to say, oh my God, this is outrageous, man. This is the grandfather of the child. How can you even contemplate that the grandfather of the child, who's, look at him, he's all dressed as this nice looking guy, would abuse and do this to this child, molest the child? No, you have to take that into consideration always. How idiotic you would be. You go to the mother of the child, let's say she's not a suspect, and you go and ask, well, how about the grandfather? And she could act, oh, that's outrageous, that's insulting. I do not care. I'm here to find out what happened, with the risk of offending everybody. All right, so the same here. I don't know if it was the Russians. Do you know? Is what the Ukrainians say it was the Russians or the Americans. I want to know what Bangladesh's opinion, assessment of the investigation is. It's going to be only the countries involved with an interest telling us it was the Russians. Not, I don't know, some neutral country. Why? They might tell the truth or reach the wrong conclusions after the investigation. All right, move on. The problem is people lost their lives because of some criminals. Russia experimenting with Shahed drone tactics to strain Ukraine's air defenses. So the Russians changed tactics, and that is they are trying to overflow the space. These guys are going to be outspent, flooded. So this is another technique that I failed to mention at the beginning of this video. Russia's military is adjusting its use of Shahed-type kamikaze drones in a bid to wear down Ukraine's air defenses. Wear down by what? I'm going to flood you and you will not have any more, I don't know, bullets to hit it, projectiles to target our drones. These guys from the Institute for the Study of War should not be trusted. Analyst, because they're analysts, said that by late March and early April 2025, Russian forces had returned to a more familiar pattern of drone strikes. The shift in tactics followed a brief period in mid-February and early March when Russia carried out larger-scale long-range attacks. These guys say. In February and March, Russian forces conducted heavier strikes, about 150 and up drones a day. But in recent weeks, they reverted to smaller-scale attacks similar to those seen in January and February, while firing fewer missiles. So, what's going on? They tell us this is how many drones were launched and pop. Next. Now we have Zelensky and others who will, I would say, I don't want to say the word use, but they will want to have the West in a hot war against Russia. That's my assessment. And they will use any kind of propaganda and any kind of sad, tragic, criminal event to drag people in the Third World War. In Europe only. In Europe only. You got Europe meaning Europe, maybe as it's America, but it's far, far away in Europe. Why is that? So they can bring other viral men from other parts of the world to continue the European civilization without Europeans? Yes. Next. Zelensky condemns Russian ballistic hit on Sumy. Should be condemned if the Russians did it. And whomever did it. Calls for tough global response. Now, what do you think this guy has in mind when he thinks tough global response? What could be tough? A beating. No food. All right? Sanctions. So the whole world should do what exactly to Russia? Now, if you agree that the evil Russians should be punished because they hit with ballistic missiles and they killed, people in center Sumy, which whomever did that, that's a crime. They should be punished. Like Bill Clinton for bombarding Yugoslavia, for instance, never punished. Or what's his name, Sir Tony Blair again. Or maybe like the guy who destroyed a few countries in the Middle East, George W. Bush and Cheney and Roosevelt. Roosevelt is dead. But nevertheless, how about those guys? Or how about Barack Obama with Libya and with Syria? No. And the Secretary of State under Barack Obama, what's her name? Hillary Clinton. How about these guys? Why don't we punish these guys? Or Biden with Ukraine. Biden with the Nord Stream 2 pipelines being blown up. So if we're talking about the truth and justice, let's go chronologically to bigger criminals. But hey, let's go back to these ones. And if you think that this is horrible, which it is horrible, is Zelensky going to ask the world, is going to call for the world for tough global response, let's say to what's going on in the Middle East, in the Gaza? And if not, why not? I mean, what's going on over there and what's going on in Sumy? Crimes, but proportions. He's zipped. So Mr. Zelensky is quiet about Gaza. So that's why if you are supposedly having values, principles, virtues, whatever you want to call them, then you should be, using them across the board. You don't pick and choose. It's not selective values, not selective outrage. So why is he not calling for those guys? I haven't heard him say a thing about that one. So he lost credibility for me a long time ago, but I hope with this one we'll have him lose again. Look at this guy. So this picture is not taken, sporadically or randomly from a meeting or whatever Ukrainian meeting. No, this picture is taken, I guarantee you that, by his public relation garbage that is around him. He's an actor. Whenever every time I place and I show you an article, he has to express something, grief, anger, determination. This is what you need to see. Do you think, and he's an actor, he's a comedian, he knows how to do these kind of things. Plus Yermak, his boss was a movie director. Yermak is the chief of the president's office. You know that big guy looking like Weinstein? Exactly. So when I see these kind of things, trying to fool the baboons, and look at his hair. This guy, why do you think he wears a beard? First, to show him more mature and more manly. That's the first one, just so you know. And the second one, you know, why is he wearing with the beard this kind of clothes? Because he's at war, man. He's like a monk. He fights for truth. But look at his hair. His hair is clean as shit. Look over there. He's all clean cut. He's very clean cut. He's not suffering. Again, all this is a face for you to have empathy for him. And this is what the guy says. Let me show you. All right. Zelensky about Russian strike on Sumy. The world must, not should, ought, no, must. That's it. Oh. All right, must. Let's move her out. So you might get distracted, so I have to move her out. All right. The world must respond firmly. What would that mean? Attack Russia? This guy is a criminal, I think, but hey, I don't know yet, right? And we have Ukraine form. Foreign Minister Sybiha urges partners to react strongly to Russian missile strike on Sumy. What does that mean? Right here, urged to respond decisively to this crime. Right? React strongly. I want to hear Sybiha talking about Gaza. He ain't going to talk about it. Ukraine form. Europe as a whole, rather as a whole, expresses condolences to Ukraine over Russian strike on Sumy. Yeah, that's horrible, but not Europe. Some guys in charge of Europe do that. Where are you, baby doll? Next, Sputnik. Russian forces liberate Yelizavetovka in Donetsk region. So where is Yelizavetovka is exactly here. This big, how do you call it? Metropolis. And where is this located? By Pokrovsk. So where is Pokrovsk? Exactly here. So it is, I'm going to show you another map. It is east of Pokrovsk. You see these lakes? That's what I wanted to see. This body of water here. Because that's how you're going to identify it when you're going to go here. Pokrovsk is in Donetsk People's Oblast or in Donetsk Oblast. It's called Krasnoarmeysk. And here is Yelizavetovka, and you see the two bodies of water. Pak, zap, rapakapa. Where is this? Right here in Donetsk People Republic, the Donetsk front. Next. Look what's going on here. Ukraine again unilaterally attacks Russian energy infrastructure, the Russian Minister of Defense says. So remember, the Russians says the guys violate the ceasefire on energy infrastructures. These guys are telling you that the Russians hit Sumy city center. Oh, where is Sumy? Let me show you. All right. So it's not even right here, the contact line. Sumy is right here, the Sumy Oblast. Because why? Because you see over there, that's named Kursk. This is the Kursk invasion occurred right here. And the Russians are pushing them back in Kursk. That's all what's left over there from the 1, 2. That's it. And they hit Sumy, the city, while the Russians are attacking over there. Because the Ukrainians were very nice with Sudza, for instance, in Kursk, were very nice. Now, I'm not saying, that's, two wrongs make a right, but I have the right to use the Jewish wisdom and say a tooth for a tooth, an eye for an eye, a bomb for a bomb. You see, a crime for a crime. So that's very different from you Christians, who are baboons thinking that you live under a Judeo-Christian civilization. Okay, tooth for a tooth, eye for an eye, cock for a cock. How about that one? No, that's in direct opposition to Lord Jesus Christ, who said, forgive your enemy, love your enemy. That sounds a little bit masochistic to me, but anyway, it's not a religious class here. Next one, we're going to go to the last topic, which is Ukraine is democratic by extending martial law. Why? Because they're not law. Can't you see these criminals here? Yeah, we have to protect you. Where is the baboon? I have to protect you. You don't want me, I want you. Oh, then the butt shows up over there. Clip. All right, let's go here. Yaroslav Zelenskyy, you sound Polak, has claimed presidential elections can be held in November at the earliest if this proves to be the last such extension. Ukraine's parliament will extend martial law by another 90 days earlier this week. All right? You know how these guys are doing to us as adults and free-thinking people, supposedly? They do like we do with our children, or with children in general. We just fool them because they have a short attention span and they don't understand much. So let's say you go with a child and you have to walk, and obviously the children going shopping with you or something, and you tell them on the way back from shopping, grocery shopping, they're like, oh, I want to go, my feet hurt, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and what do? You don't smack the child. You say, you see Gigi? Over there, you point to a close location that he can see, very close, and say, Gigi, this is, after that little thing is the house. And the kid is like, okay. He gets over there, passes it, forgets, and then like us, we forget, that these guys are going to postpone the elections exactly like that. He passes it and said, what? Oh no, don't worry. You see that I thought it was that one, but no, it's the other one right there. You post to a next one, and that's what you do with the children. And after you do like 20 times, he gets home tired and fooled. That's what these guys are doing to us. With the Ukrainians, we're not gonna hold elections, but the earliest could be in 2022 in December. Nothing happened. Okay, gonna be in April 2023. Nothing happened, and so on. And now, we're gonna have elections. We're gonna be maybe in November 2025, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. It's more than 3. It's going to be almost 4 years these guys drag you by the nose. But hey, we're a democracy with that leader in front of you. You make me talk. Ugly. All right, my friends, here it is, an update. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Remember, that guy over there wants a world war in Europe. Is he from Europe? Oh, yeah, he's Ukrainian. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. God damn.